Hello, thank you for joining me on this Sage bite-sized webinar. My name is Carl Brooks. I am the Partnership Manager here at ProSpend, a business spend management platform and also Sage partner. In today's webinar, I'll discuss how we help with expense management and remove the friction of employees doing business spend on their own personal cards with our latest addition to the platform, virtual cards. This bite-sized webinar will allow me to introduce you to our company, our platform, and I'll focus on the importance of virtual cards and how they can be used in the modern workplace. I will also discuss how our partnership works with Sage, and finally, I will give a short demonstration of the platform and the integration into Sage Intaact. ProSpend offers a complete business spend management platform, but today I will focus on expense management and virtual cards. Our virtual cards are an ideal replacement to corporate cards, petty cash draws, and also the practice of employees spending using their own personal cards. Virtual cards can be issued immediately, and you can apply spending limits and rules on usage, all backed with two-factor authentication. Virtual cards can be loaded into your Apple or Google Wallet, allowing you to use them either with your smartphone or smartwatch. Any spend consumed using a virtual card is backed by our expense management solution to capture the spend and match it to the associated receipt, and also do the necessary auto-coding to the correct general ledger expense account, taking the pain away from writing up an expense claim. Our expense management platform comes with both a desktop and mobile user interface, with the mobile app being available for both Android and Apple users. The benefits of using an expense management solution is clear, and here are 4 key benefits back to the business when you move away from doing expenses manually. Performing expense management manually opens the door to fraudulent behavior, with receipts becoming lost or receipt claims being incorrectly typed. We help reduce fraud by automating the process and allowing employees to capture receipts immediately using the ProSpend app on their phone, allowing the user to immediately capture the receipts. The app also reduces the admin involved in recording receipts, as it will scan the receipt and populate the expense claim with the total amount, tax, and code to the relevant general ledger expense account. Our solution not only improves the processing time, but that time saved can now be used to review and analyze the data to discover opportunities on how spending policies can be improved. Introducing virtual cards into the business comes with many benefits, but for me, the key benefit is the removal of using physical corporate cards, which may take between 14 to 21 days to be issued. Also, physical cards can become lost, increasing the risk of them being compromised. Also, it is common in the workplace for corporate credit cards to be shared when something needs to be purchased quickly. Virtual cards can remove this bad practice. The final takeout is, as I record this, there is a lot of cost of pressure on the household budget. So asking employees to spend on the behalf of a company using their own personal card and to claim it back may cause unnecessary employee friction. Virtual cards can assist business with helping them improve employee retention. At the center of our platform is our workflow, budget, and security controls to help with reducing fraud. The surrounding modules allow users to plan for travel, spend using virtual cards, record the expenditure, and reconcile all the activity, which links employees with their approval managers and to the back office finance team to process the payment. So why ProSpend? Well, we are loved by finance teams as we provide them the efficiency to allow them to get on with what they need to be doing. Also, the users who are spending now have a streamlined way of recording their expenses. This is backed by our feature-rich platform that is customizable and highly configurable to meet very complex approval workflows. We spend also a lot of time listening to our customers and taking their feedback into our continuous improvement and innovation of the platform. Here at ProSpend, we pride ourselves on being an innovative company that does not react to the market but leads with being responsive to our customers' needs, creating that long-term trust. The best example I can give you is that our first client, KFC, is still our customer more than 8 years later. Of course, we can tell you how great we are, but let our G2 reviews speak for themselves. In terms of these reviews, you can see how we listen to the voice of customer, and that is important to us. And you can also see how we stack up in ease of use and quality of support to our peers. We have been Sage partners since 2020, and we are perfectly aligned with the vertical Sage Intaact do well in. Our integration uses the Sage Intaact web services, and you can find our apps in the Sage Intaact marketplace. The links are below. So this is an overview of how our mapping works with Sage Intaact for our expenses. Corporate credit cards and virtual card transactions are passed through to Sage Intaact as general journal entries. Cash reimbursements are passed through as an AP bill, with the employee also set up as a supplier. We also sync a number of Sage Intaact master data across, and as changes are made in Sage Intaact, we will pull those changes or new records across into ProSpend. So let's take a look at the product demo. So now I'm going to log in to the mobile app. So I'm going to log in as Kylie Magenta. And Kylie's got a reimbursement already set up into the system, but I'm going to add some mileage to that reimbursement. So let me do that. And this is for a customer visit I made earlier in the week. So I'm just going to put in my starting point and my destination. Now this will work out the trip that I've taken. It would explain the distance I traveled, the rates that I can claim back my mileage back to the business, and the amount of that journey to visit the customer. I'll put in my car registration. I'll select the project that I want to code it to and just give it some trip details. Now I can add this to a new reimbursement, but I do have a reimbursement already set up in the system, and I'm just going to choose that one and save that. So you can see here, I've got a receipt for my parking, I've got a receipt for some food I ate, and now I've added my mileage to the reimbursement. So I'm quite happy with this, and I can push this through now for approval. So now I'm going to log out of the app. And go into the back office system. So let me log in as John Red, the approver. So when John logs into the ProSpend platform, he's obviously presented with a dashboard of information, and we can see here the expense that he has to review from Kylie. So coming through from this, John's got a few options he can do. He can go and look at the expense to make sure everything is coded correctly. If there was any problems with this, like a missing receipt, John could reject this, but everything looks fine in order with this. So John's going to push this through to be approved so that the finance team can send this across to Sage Intaact for payment. So I'm going to log into the system as Jackie, who is the finance lead. And Jackie can see all the all the documents that have been approved in the ProSpend platform. So Jackie, again, she's got the ability to come into this. She's got the ability to push it back for a review, or she can reject it. And obviously she can come through and make any changes that she feels necessary if there's any mistakes made. With any of those changes that I've made, we've got a full audit history of all the transactions from beginning to end and anything that's changed in between. So you're fully aware of what's happened with this receipt. So just push this through and finalize this. So that's all ready to go. And now I just need to export this through to Sage. So I'm going to export this to here. I'm going to check this. Select that transaction. And now it's just a case of simply sending this to Sage Intaact via their web services. And that's sent through the transaction into Sage Intaact. Now, before I look at that, I just want to show you the virtual cards. So that was a cash reimbursement we just pushed through into Sage Intaact. Now, with the new feature that we have of the virtual cards, I can change Jackie's view to being an admin. And in here, under the treasury section, I've got the ability to manage the cards. So here I can see Kylie's got a card issued out to her, but I'm going to issue out a card to another employee in the business. So firstly, I just need to put in my two-factor authentication code because these are financial instruments. Cool. So here's the card that I want to issue. So I'm going to issue this out to Alex in the business. I'm going to put in Alex's mobile phone number. So when he gets the phone, he will be asked to do two-factor authentication, and we'll put in the business address. So we can put a lifetime limit on the card. So let's put that as $10,000. We'll give him a transaction limit of 500, a daily limit of 1,000, and we'll limit the monthly to $2,000. And it's just now as simple as issue the card. And by doing this, this will notify Alex that he's got a virtual card issued to him, and he will be able to download that virtual card onto his Apple or Google wallet. So let's take a look at that transaction in Sage Intaact. And you can see here the transactions come through into Sage Intaact, so we can actually view that transaction. So I can see here the details of the transaction. So we can see here the food, the travel, and the mileage. And if I wanted to see more details on this, I've got the attachment of that we've pushed through, and I can just pull up the PDF. And here I can see the transactions that they've claimed for, and push that through as a final AP invoice if I'm happy with it. So thank you for joining me on this bite-sized webinar today. If you want to follow up and learn more about ProSpend, please email us at sales@prospend.com. Hope to hear from you soon. Thank you and goodbye.